Today we're going to make a spiral design in Fusion 360. Stay tuned. So I was browsing Thingiverse a couple days ago and I came across this spiral tree. I'll put a link in the description, but the spiral design on this was intriguing, so I wanted to see if I can recreate it in Fusion. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sketch. And if we look at this spiral design, I'll take the center out. It has 6 sides. Now, when we make it, I'll put however many spirals we want, but I think I'll stick with the number 6 for now. So let me see this design. If I measure it with my calipers right here, this design, put it together, and it's about 1 3/4 inches. So let's make 1 3/4 inches in here. I've got this set on millimeters, and how you can change this is, let's go back up to document settings. You see this unit? It says millimeters right now. I'm going to change the active units, and we're going to change it to inches. And I should set it as default, but I'll do that later. I want 1 3/4 inches, and this is going to be our diameter. So after I get that, I want to create a line, but I want it to be a construction line because none of these lines are going to be showing. These are just going to be our guides to make our design in the center. Let's do a circular pattern on this. Click the center. I'm going to click this line, and then what I want to do is I want to have a line for each edge of our design, and then a center line for each one. So instead of 6 lines, I'm actually going to do 12 lines. And I'll show you why here in a second. So now, to make a random pattern, I think I'm going to use this fit point spline. And this one, I don't want it to be a construction line, so I'm going to turn that off. Or you can press the X button. I'm going to click it somewhere about right there, and this is your preference, whatever you want to do on your design. Let's do something like that. Press OK, and I think I want that to be a little more curved, so I'm going to drag that in a little bit more, and I think that'll work fine. Actually, I can drag it in all the way, somewhere about right there. Okay, so now let's mirror this. We're going to click that spline, we're going to click mirror. I'm going to select this middle line as the mirror plane, and that's what I'm going to do, right? And then at this point, I can do a circular pattern on both of these lines. We're going to click this as the center point, and now we're going to go to 6 sides. Press OK. So now let's finish the sketch. And what I forgot to do is let's go back into our sketch. So I'm going to press Control Z. You can also go under Sketches, right click and edit sketch. I want to make this a 3D sketch. So you see this check mark is already checked. I'm actually going to rotate it. I'm going to make another line. So I'm going to press L for line. I'm going to click that center point, but then I'm going to click one of these planes, one of this, what is this, ZY plane, and I'm going to go straight up. And this design, if you'll notice, it's about 3 inches tall. It doesn't have to be this design, we can do any, but I'm going to clip it at 3 inches. So now what you've got is you've got a line that's 3 inches, and I'll show you why we're going to do that here in a second. So you would think that you would make an extrusion for this and then twist it, but I found out Fusion doesn't have a twist feature for an extrusion. What we're going to do is we're actually going to create a sweep. So I'm going to click this bottom part for my profile, and then I'm going to click this line as my path, right? And then we get this really nice shape. You've got your 6 sides in there, your 6 inner sides, and then now you have a taper angle and you have a twist angle. Well, looking at this twist, And if I follow this twist all the way around, it looks like it's going about 180 degrees for a twist. So I'm going to put that in my twist angle. We'll see what happens. And there you go. Now you have a twist for this design. So now I want the inside piece. How do I make the inside piece? Well, I'm going to hide this body, and we're going to start back with that sketch. And I want to create a new sketch on top of it, just because I like to keep these sketches separate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to press P for project, or I can go to create, project, or project include, and then project. And then I'm going to click on these designs right here, because I want this to start this sketch. Okay, so now after I click this geometry shape, I'm going to hide this first sketch. Now I'm left with this. Well, I don't want the 3D printed part directly butted up against it, or else it's going to be too much friction to actually go through. So I want a little gap in between. So I'm going to use this offset tool, and I'm going to click on my parts. I don't know why it's not chaining it. But that's okay, it should still work. And I bet you if well, I think that'll work. So this looks like too big of a gap. I actually want it to be just about like 0.01 inches difference. I think that should be enough. This may take a little trial and error. I think I'll 3D print this, and then we'll see if that thickness is correct, and then if it's not, we'll 3D print it again with the bigger thickness. So I'm going to try 0.01. I think that'll be fine for now, right? Now I'm going to press OK. We're going to finish this sketch. And we're going to do the exact same thing we did with the last one. So I forgot to draw my line, but that's okay, because I'm going to use this line here in a second. So I want to take and do a sweep. I'm going to select this as my profile. And now for the path setting, I'm going to show this sketch, sketch 1, and I'm going to select that as a path. And I'm going to do the exact same thing where I'm going to do a 180 degree twist angle. You see how beautiful this is? Press OK. Hide the sketches, and then now you have a beautiful twist on this design, right? And if you turn on body 1, it'll line up just perfectly. And we can see this. We'll do an inspection. Let's do a section analysis. I'm going to click this section right here, and you'll see that it's actually doing pretty good. You can get that nice gap between the two pieces. You can actually move this and see how it's actually moving inside the twist is doing inside the body. So right, we're going to press OK. So this is only half of what we need to do, and you can hide this section analysis by going up to this analysis tab. There's really only half we need to do. What I also want to do is, so this piece is in the shape of a cone, but we can make any shape we want. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to make another shape, and I'm going to do this on the side profile. Now, once we press P for projecting us, because I want to get the outline of this. So right now it's not clicking the outline. What we can do is under selection filters, go into bodies, and then now it'll select the entire body. It won't just select the pieces inside the body. So I'm going to do that for a good outline. Press OK. And then now I want to do, we can either do the arc for a cone, or maybe I'll just do a little Bezier spline and see what it comes up with. So I'll bring it inside. Maybe I want to go straight up with it, maybe curved a little bit out, and I'm going to press OK. And on this one, I do want to make another line right here in the center, because that's going to be our center axis. And I'm going to finish sketch. So then if you hide these two bodies, if you hide these two bodies, then you'll see this nice piece right here. What we're going to do is we're going to do a revolve, click that profile, and then I'm going to click this as a center axis. And it'll make a shape, a pretty nice shape, but what we'll do is we'll unhide these bodies, and then now it'll be the cut path for these bodies. And then it looks like I've got something right here. I want to, did it not select that? Oh, because that's where, this is apparently where my line intersects this shape, which is fine. Let's keep that. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And then now what you have is this really nice body. Now we're going to create a mesh out of this. I'm going to take this, right click it, we're going to save as mesh. These settings are okay, we can save it in that 3MF format. And save. So now what I like to do, I like to open up Prusa Slicer, and there is a slicer on Fusion. I'm just not used to it, so I'm going to use Prusa. This file contains several objects positioned at multiple heights. Instead of considering them as at multiple objects, yes, that'll be fine. So now it comes into our slicer, and what you can do is you can press this. This place on face is a really nice way to actually set this. So as soon as I did that, it actually set it in the right position. So now you can change whatever settings you want in here. I'll do another in-depth tutorial on Prusa later, but this will actually slice our design for us. And if we go through the actual layers, you'll see that this spiral will be made really nicely for us. And it'll have the gaps in between, so you shouldn't have to, it should be able to come apart pretty easily. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and print this. I'm back. The 3D print's finished. Turned out great. I had a little trouble with printing it on the bed. I originally wanted to print it in place like this. I ended up separating these two pieces and printing it on the bed like that. This turned out a lot better. I reprinted a second one with this is a 0.01 inch offset between the two pieces. I reprinted a second one with a 0.03 offset, and this one's a lot easier to slide in and out. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. If these videos are helping you out with your Fusion learning experience, please like and subscribe. Thank you.